I had been gathering up items to make it through the winter. I had been camping. Police had told me to move. I moved my stuff up to the street, and that evening there was a thunder and lightning storm, and I took my dogs and myself over to a friend's place where we could get shelter, and I left my items under tarps and a couple of pop-up canopies. I came back less than 12 hours later, and all my stuff was gone. Not even a shred of paper was left. That's how I knew the city had done it. I called the city, and they told me that they did not do it. That's when I called the in the mayor's office, and she got a hold of them. And come to find out, they did take my stuff. And then when I inquired about how to obtain it, they told me that they had just threw it in the dump. They said it was wet. It was under 2 pop-up canopies, and then I had tarps over everything. Like, I knew I had multiple waterproof cases, Pelican cases, to keep things dry. I know they kept my stuff. The laptop I got from Free Geek for the work I do for this nonprofit still shows up online, and supposedly they threw that away. I'll tell you, when you live on the streets, it's not uncommon for stuff to get stolen, but to have everything gone, like I said, not even a scrap of paper was left, was quite shocking, you know, and I tried to stay calm, really. But then through the different phone calls that I was making, I did deal with a lot of anguish and rage. There's a lot of confusion and sadness and anger, and then the process of like kind of going through the inventory of things in my mind and how much time was lost. My military records, my medals, all my photography that I'm still paying student loans on, you know. It was just treated like it was trash, and it hurt me real bad. And I couldn't believe that people could do that sort of thing to another human being, and it made me really question why I had made the sacrifices I made as a veteran to ensure their freedom. And geez, I mean, even talking about it now is bringing up a lot of negative emotion. And when I was going through the process of trying to obtain some sort of restitution from these people for their criminal act, basically it was theft, is what it is. It's theft. If somebody come to your house and take everything, and you come home from work one day and your house isn't even there, what do you call that? You know, you're not supposed to suffer the loss of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law. But if you are not living according to the ritual established by the wealth, then you are marginalized, and you have no real recourse. I said, well, what does that matter? Like, I was inside for the better part of a year. I knew I was going outside. I was buying these things legitimately. I had them all. Well, sorry, it just doesn't work that way.
Having to move so often, it's a major stress, and it's very time consuming. We didn't have to worry about stress of figuring out how we're going to pack up our stuff and go, what we're going to take and what we have to leave behind. Being out here like we are now, it's hard to make plans. You know, plans to go do something, make an appointment, because you never know if I get back, all my stuff's gone. Well, if I come back and my stuff's gone, well, now I got to stress for the next 30 days. If you have to move, you got to move like every other day, every 3 days. And you got to stay with a place, so you don't have to worry about moving, so you can make these appointments. For a while there, we were at an area off of a Reedway between the bike path and Harold. We were there for a few years. Back then, we had, being stable in the place that we were at, and we had some time, we were able to leave at the same time and go and do things together and be able to run our errands, a couple places, and be able to take some time on the way back to just enjoy being out and about, just us being together. And come back and know that our stuff's still going to be there and nobody's going to raid it. We had some time being able to work on, I had some comforts of home, and have an area where I could work on the bike. Robin was able to go out and collect some things to also make it more comfortable. I mean, she brought in a picnic table, and we had like a little barbecue area, and we had people come over, and we cook and whatnot, make sure that anybody who comes over, they don't leave hungry. I was able to go out and do some work for some neighbors. I got to know them. If I want to come in and do some yard work for them, and sometimes that Sunday they'd make a home cooked meal, and I'd take it over, and share it with everybody. In the meantime, we were also able to set up, do what we can to get our IDs, and instead of trying to get back up on our feet again, we were just about there when all of a sudden we got hit. About ready to get back on our feet, and we were set up to meet up with Join and do the housing and get things rolling. When they showed up and gave us 48 hours. And one of the gals that was down there with us walked up and said, "Are you serious? You can't make it any longer than that? I mean, just picture yourself, whatever house you've had for 3 years, and then have the city come up and tell you you have 48 hours to sort through that stuff and move on."